Right, abusia mame na wasena me mo akwaba famra Ashanti Media so be like video no share dia mo befufro na ono nso anya bi etumi ahwe ene NDC fo anya de amia papa anya asem ketua nyina ne se omode omunsa anya akowo bunsam ani na bunsam ani omode omunsa akowo no nyina ne se Kookoo prices a ene omo adrop no e de afi 3600 de aba 2500 no akwakofa pressure papa ena de aba omuso a enya asem ketua na nei said minority ene Ghana de share esi esopa wo mu no aya rehusem papa e de ama NDC amonyoku no na mom yiye mu de Ghana fo nyina ehwe animu se ene nka ombetimi ayen hyehyɛ foforo na omatimi asesa niama na anya hwe kura no the old price na ewo ho no omatimi a maintain no mo de ama Kookoo ekurafo se ebe ya asumdwe ebetumi aba na mepesi ebegibre na yakwakotie nsem no bia ekoso in the Kookoo bruhaha anase Kookoo board issues a ene agire ntraha babia no na yensoso yetimi akire adwen ede afa.
We have to congratulate Miracles Abwaji and Co for blowing the whistle on this matter. When they started talking about Miracles, started putting on social media that he has information about Kookoo, he's spoken to the farmers, nobody took him seriously. But it shows that the work that he did is very, very relevant and important. And the government had to pull up an emergency cabinet meeting to address this Kookoo matter. If the whistle was not blown by people like Miracles, perhaps nothing would have happened. And today, the finance minister has been forced to finally now announce a new plan. What did the MPP administration inherit in terms of the Kookoo dynamics in 2017?
Okay, thank you very much, Paul. And just as you said, I also congratulate Dennis Miracles and his team for the human job done, because we were hearing calls. You know, my constituency is not a Kookoo constituency, but we have other MPs from other Kookoo constituencies, so we were getting calls about these issues, and we were expecting that the government would take up the matter and deal with it swiftly, but it had to take Dennis and his team to come out before they also reacted. Initially, they were even defending until they realized that they cannot defend anymore. What are the issues? In 2017, MPP did not inherit a Kookoo that was buoyant. We didn't inherit a Kookoo that was on its feet. We inherited a Kookoo sector that was in debt too.
I think before we do that, we have to let the viewer understand what's the relationship between Kookoo board and the farmers. What happens? You call something high season, low season.
Yes. So
what happens? What's the relationship? We'll come to the figures of the syndication. Let's get viewers to understand it.
Kookoo is a seasonal crop,
like most crops.
Like most crops. So from October all the way to, let's say, February or March, sometimes February, the crops that you get, the beans that you get, they are, let's say, bigger in size, larger in size, heavier in size. So they call them the main crop season.
That's October to
February. Then from that point to the next October, you realize that the beans that you are getting, they are smaller. They are not as big as.
How is that? Is it a time of
harvesting? It's a time of harvesting.
Okay.
And
so when you're harvesting in May, it will come smaller.
Yes. You will get bigger pots with bigger beans.
Why is it weather or what?
It's how the tree is structured, how the tree functions. Okay. So there are scientific reasons for it. I'm more of a trader, so
yeah, I get it.
When you meet the agronomists, they'll be able to give better explanation to why it's like that. Okay. So the main crop season beans are more expensive than the light crop. So what Ghana does is that normally we sell the main crop to the buyers, and then part of the light crop is sometimes sold to local processors.
Like chocolate people?
Yes. For instance, Niche Kookoo, yeah. CPC, and all these companies.
They buy? From the farmers or
from Kookoo board. So
Kookoo board?
Yes.
Who is Kookoo marketing board?
Kookoo marketing board. So there's Kookoo marketing company.
CMC.
And there's, yes, CMC. And there's Kookoo board. Or people call it Kookoo marketing board.
Okay.
So the board itself has a subsidiary, which is CMC, Kookoo marketing company. Okay. The Kookoo marketing company trades cocoa on behalf of the board.
Oh, so the board, so CMC is a subsidiary
The
of
Kookoo board is not a limited liability company. The buyers want to deal with a limited liability company. So the Kookoo board created CMC, which is Kookoo Marketing
Kookoo board
Company.
is 100% government.
Government owned.
Okay.
So
the Kookoo Marketing Board is a limited liability company.
no, the Kookoo board is not. So Kookoo board creates a limited liability company called a Kookoo Marketing Company.
Yeah.
That can trade directly.
Is that a CMC?
That's a CMC.
So that's a limited liability
Yes.
company. Owned by government.
Owned by government. That's Kookoo board.
Yeah. Alone.
Alone. Just as Kookoo board has other companies like the Kookoo Research Institute, like the Kookoo Health and Extension Division, like the Kookoo Processing Company, and so on. Now, when Kookoo board wants to buy Kookoo, they do it through the Kookoo Marketing Company. So the Kookoo Marketing Company will take the Kookoo from the licensed buying company, which is LBCs, and then sell the Kookoo to the buyer outside Ghana. What happens is, before they will buy the Kookoo, the licensed buying companies would have bought the Kookoo from the farmer already through their purchasing clerks, and then submit or deliver the Kookoo to the Kookoo Marketing Company. So per Kookoo board regulations, if to become a licensed buying company, you have to show proof that you have some amount of funds that you can pre-buy the Kookoo beans before you deliver it to Kookoo Marketing Company. But because Ghanaian companies are not so strong, so Kookoo board in the past will go for a loan and then give the licensed buying company some amount of money called the seed money. But before you get that seed money, you should have shown that you have also been able to buy some amount of Kookoo before you get the seed money.
So the Kookoo farmer doesn't deal with Kookoo board
directly.
He deals with the middleman.
That is the LBC.
Yes.
And the LBC takes the Kookoo and gives to the CMC, and the LBC gets a commission on whatever he does. Then the Kookoo Marketing Company will keep the Kookoo on behalf of Kookoo board and sell the Kookoo outside on behalf of Kookoo board.
Okay. So when they are selling the Kookoo outside, it goes by ship.
It goes by ship.
Okay, fair enough. So the Kookoo farmer, let's call him Akwesi. Akwesi in maybe Inchi,
yes,
Western region. So Akwesi has Kookoo. He has now, together with his sons, they have 100 bags of Kookoo to sell.
Yeah.
Who are they selling to?
They'll go and sell to the purchasing clerk of the LBC.
The purchasing clerk of Amajaro.
Amajaro.
Okay, so can Akwesi decide that I don't want to sell to Amajaro?
I want to sell to a different.
Can he decide that?
Yes.
So all the marketing companies go to them.
They have
buyers.
Small warehouses in the communities.
Okay. So if you are buying yours, you go and put it in their warehouse.
You go there. Their purchasing clerk will be there, and he'll buy on.
So they've all constructed warehouses.
Smaller warehouses. All over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when Akwesi goes to give it to the clerk, he says 100 bags. What does the clerk give him?
The clerk will then pay the money to him, or take the beans.
How is the clerk deciding that I have to pay him 3,000? I have to pay
Kookoo board decides the amount.
Oh, Kookoo board
so
decides
whenever every
that for you,
October,
a licensed buyer,
yes,
you are buying Kookoo and you are paying each farmer 1,000
this amount of money. So every October we hear that Kookoo board has announced the price. That price that they announced, there's an LBC margin in there. So and there's the farmer's amount. So
when 3,000, it means he's giving the farmer 3,000.
Exactly. So when Kookoo board announces, let's say 3,620, exactly,
so that he can get a margin on it.
Yes. So let's say the LBC's margin is 10 cedis per bag. Government says the price is 3,625. The farmer knows that when I go, LBC will take his margin and then give me my money. That is how it works.
So the the license buying company, LBC's margin, is taken from the farmer's
money. Not from the farmer's money. Kookoo board will pay to them.
Kookoo board will pay them.
Yes. So when the purchasing clerks have bought the Kookoo, the bags from the farmers, they deliver it to their main mother companies and they deliver to Kookoo board. Sometimes they put them together to get a lot of tons and
so
deliver
does
to
Kookoo board
board
itself have any relationship with the farmers?
So the LBC is just an intermediary.
I get it. Yeah. But beyond that, why is Kookoo board MD in the forest sitting in Kookoo farms and talking to them? Why is that necessary?
Because Kookoo board is the one going to sell the Kookoo.
Abroad.
So and apart from that, Kookoo Board
farmers?
also provides extension services to farmers.
To help them.
This
agronomists
Board,
you talk about.
Yes, that's the Kookoo Health Extension Division. Kookoo Board also has Kookoo Research Division, Institute, where they do research into cocoa and all that.
What about the fertilizers? Kookoo Board dashes them fertilizers?
Kookoo Board gives fertilizers to farmers, but that is policy. For instance, over the last 8 years, we realized, the MPP government realized that when you give the fertilizer free to farmers, it gets to some point that politicians get in and smuggle the fertilizer across.
Politicians?
So, yes, politicians and businessmen. So we came to realize that our fertilizers were going as far as Burkina and Ivory Coast and other places because the cocoa fertilizer is formulated in a higher way, which is better. So people will smuggle cocoa fertilizer and use it to put it on other crops.
Tomatoes and
other crops so that they get higher yield. And when that thing was seen, what the previous government did was they brought a subsidy program. So the fertilizer was not free, it was subsidized. Farmers were made to pay some amount. But because in Ghana we've politicized all these things, so you get other politicians going down there and telling the farmers that we gave it to you for free and now you are paying, so don't pay. So sometimes it made it so difficult for Kookoo Board to even collect the subsidized fertilizer funds. I looked into Kookoo Board's financial report for 2024 and I realized that out of the fertilizer that they had distributed, they were only able to recover about 100 million cedis back. But what this government did in last year when Dr. Atufosun was announcing the new price, if you look at the statement that he brought out, he indicated that they were going to give fertilizer for free as part of the package that the government was giving to farmers. So now the policy is a free fertilizer policy. Wow. So Kookoo Board does all these things to help the farmers. So that's why they...
Okay, now with that understanding, let's now move on and understand what happened. So now we get what farmers do, how they get their money and all that. And Kookoo Board says the price. Okay, Kookoo Board being government.
Yes.
Says the price. Okay. So now, 2017, what did the MPP inherit?
In 2017, MPP came to office and there was, in 2016, the NDC government had gone for a loan of $1.8 billion to buy cocoa for the season. When we say the season, it means October 2016 to October 2017. So they were supposed to buy cocoa with the $1.8 billion.
So what's on the screen now is what?
Syndication amount borrowed. It was $1.8 billion.
Okay.
And they were supposed to buy 850,000 tons of cocoa. In 2017, when MPP came, that $1.8 billion was finished.
The 1.8 billion
meant to buy the 850,000 metric tons of cocoa was finished. There was nothing there.
There was a syndication done in 2016.
Yes.
And it was used for what?
2016, I think the funds came around September
of 2016.
By December, the election, all the 1.8 billion was gone.
Did the 850,000 tons of cocoa, was it bought?
No. They had bought only 500,000 metric tons.
Okay, they bought some.
They bought 500,000
metric tons.
So
they took 1.8 billion to buy 850, but they bought 500.
500.
Okay, they didn't buy the rest of it.
They didn't buy.
When you say buy from farmers.
Buy from farmers.
Okay, so farmers had some cocoa that wasn't bought.
There was 350,000 metric tons that wasn't bought.
So what happens to that?
So you have to find money to buy. So a new administration like Dr. Randiabe came in 2025, and then there's no money to buy cocoa. So the new administration didn't have any money, and you cannot go back to the bankers that the money I came to borrow, I came and the previous government have used it, and there's no money, so give me extra money. You can't do that. Okay. So we had to go to Bank of Ghana to borrow money, which is the cocoa bills, to buy the extra 350,000 metric tons.
Yeah.
That was how we started 2017. Apart from that, there was cocoa rules. For the past 4 years, that was 2012 to 2016, the government then had also awarded some cocoa rules. In fact, they had awarded about 1.6 billion cedis worth of cocoa rules from 2012 to about 2015. 2015, 2016 alone, they awarded close to 3.5 billion cedis worth of cocoa rules. So together was about 5 billion cedis.
And no money to pay. Has the rules been done?
a lot of the roads had been done, a lot.
So the contractors were waiting for their money?
For their money. The 5 billion, they were waiting for their money. And at that time, the exchange rate was about 4 cedis. So that translates to about almost 1.3, 1.25 billion dollars. That was there. Then in 2013, the then government had also done something called the Kookoo bills and taking some funds from Bank of Ghana, from government. And then in 2016, they restructured it into a 10-year loan. They amortized that loan. So what was happening was, in 2017, we were going to pay interest on that amount, 2018 pay interest, 2019 and so on, and the principal, part of the principal. Apart from all this, there were construction works and other things that the government then was doing that amounted to about 300 million that they had left, all for Kookoo board. So we came to meet all this, no money. Worst of all, Paul, January 7th, the government comes in. By March, in 2016, the cocoa price was around $3,000. By March, price falls to around $2,500. By June, the cocoa price has dropped to $2,000. By August, the cocoa price has dropped to $1,800.
Wow, this was 17.
Yes, 2017. So, and you were giving the farmer about 400 cedis. So we were faced with the position whether to reduce the price as the government has done now, or support the farmers. I remember it became an issue, and it had to go to cabinet. The Nanado government, the then minister Efia Kookoo, and the chief executive had to sit with Nanado several times to discuss the way out. Then eventually Nanado said no, he will not sit down for the new government to reduce the price of cocoa for farmers. Farmers have been supporting this country for a very long time. Definitely, there will be a time that prices will rise again.
Yeah.
So the Kookoo board should find money to support the farmer so that they don't reduce the prices. So what Kookoo board did subsequently was to find money and support the farmer by giving the same price that was already being given to farmers. So this was 2017 for us. It wasn't rosy. We didn't come and meet a very good situation.
But not much was said about it.
Yes, because you see, the cocoa sector is very sensitive, Paul. Very, very sensitive. And, Ghana and Ivory Coast are the major cocoa producers in the world, and now Ecuador.
Yeah.
So if the chief scribe, the CEOs of these countries speak, it affects the market. And like any commodity, whether oil, you look at oil, the oil market. Whenever OPEC or Donald Trump or any of these big boys speak, the oil market becomes volatile. So if you're a chief executive and you come out and you start to talk about some things, it affects the market. For instance, let me give you a typical example for your viewers. On the 6th of February this year, 2026, Dr. Randiabi went out and announced that 50,000 tons of cocoa has not been bought. The day he announced it, from the 3rd of February to the 6th of February, world market price for cocoa has stayed at $4,200. Paul, the day he announced, on the 7th, the price started dropping. From the 7th to the 10th, or to today,
cocoa price, that there's cocoa that has not been bought.
Yes,
Ghana has, in terms of
Ghana has
supply.
50,000 tons that has not been bought.
So he's changing the supply graph.
Yes, it means that there's too much supply.
Yeah, so relative to demand,
from that day till today, prices have moved from $4,200 to $3,600.
How do you attribute that, the drop of the price to
because
that?
Reuters published a report. If you go to the cocoa trading platforms, you will see that the news about cocoa is on the right, and the trading numbers are on the left. So if you check the news, you see that the Reuters has already reported that the Ghana cocoa marketing company has announced.
It's on Reuters.
Yes, Reuters. That they've announced that there's 50,000 tons of cocoa that has not been bought. So once they publish such a news, automatically it starts to affect the market.
Shouldn't that let producer people hurriedly come to Ghana and say they want to buy it?
No, the buyer is rational. The buyer will wait, because whenever you tell me there is more supply than demand, I will sit down and wait, because automatically as a trader, I know prices are going to go down. Just as from end of 2023 to latter part of 2024, when the news came that El Nino effect has affected Ghana and Ivory Coast cocoa, and because of that, Ghana has lost about 300,000 metric tons, and Ivory Coast has lost almost 1 million tons, the prices started shooting to $10,000.
Wow. So
this is a very volatile situation, market, that as a chief executive, you don't come out. So I remember clearly that between 2020 to 2024, the period of COVID, some media houses started asking the then management that what is our production level and so on.
Yeah.
And he always refused to mention the production level. Because the moment you bring the production level out, it will affect the market. And if you look at those periods, prices were always down. So there was no way the management were going to come out openly with production until the season has ended. Then they'll come and tell everybody, we made this number of tons, or we achieved this number of tons. That is how the market has been. And for these reasons, Kookoo Board in 2017 decided to remain silent and work behind the scenes and fix the issues, handle the issues, hold the bull by the horns, so that Ghanaians don't even hear, so that farmers don't even have to hear these things. Then fast forward, we get to 2024. Paul, 2024, December.
Yes, the end of the MPP.
The end of the MPP tenure.
After the election.
After the election. Yes, Kookoo Board had debt. Like every company. Just as in 2017, Kookoo Board had debts and liabilities. But 2017, we also recognize that Kookoo Board has assets. And Kookoo Board had revenue in terms of cocoa beans that were to be delivered.
Okay.
So you would
delivered means what?
That means cocoa that has the light crop season, the cocoa that will be bought from the farm. Kookoo Board's revenue comes from cocoa that is bought. So as long as you have cocoa beans that will be coming in, you will match your beans revenue to your liabilities, because that's your main source of revenue. So in 2024, Kookoo Board had a debt position of about more than 31 billion cedis. But as at December 2024, Kookoo Board revenues and assets were about 30 billion cedis. So if you net it off, it was about 1 billion cedis deficit. But that was December 2024. We know that the season starts from October, as I've already mentioned.
Yes.
So once the season has not ended, you cannot even use that position as the end of your financial statement or whatever. You have to wait for the season to end to know the revenue that came within the season. Then you can match it against your debts and liabilities. Quite interestingly, when you hear the current administration talking, they always talk about Kookoo Board debt.
Yes.
The question is, has anybody bothered to ask them what was Kookoo Board's revenues or what was Kookoo Board's assets?
You know, the new government, and when Dr. Randy Abe took over, he did press conferences and radio where he talked about having inherited some 32 billion
debts.
Yes,
he rounded it off.
Debts. Yes. Why is that? How does somebody come in and he has inherited 32 billion?
So, Paul, like I said, cocoa rose.
Yeah.
In 2017, there was about 5 billion cedis cocoa rose, which translated to about $1.3 billion. And the cocoa bills and the Bank of Ghana loan that had been amortized and all that. And the government came and they were paying and handling all these debts. Then, going forward, prices were virtually down. In 2019, prices started picking up. So government then decided 2020 was going to be an election year. That we also have to do some of the roads, because there were videos coming of videos from Yamecha and Seychelles, some rural areas, feeder roads, very deplorable, cocoa were stuck in the bush and so on. So government decided, Kookoo Board, you have to go in and intervene. Then they awarded some cocoa rows with the hope that that time you had also achieved the LID of $400 plus the premium, and prices were beginning to go around 2006. So with the hope that prices are picking up, so we'll be able to do the rules. They had a 5-year plan. Then we entered into COVID. So COVID throws everything off. And you know, during COVID, airports are shut, factories, seaports are all shut down, cocoa can't go, factories are shut down, everything. So your cocoa is stuck here, prices come crashing.
The peak time of COVID was the critical period.
The critical period.
December to February.
Yes. Then prices come crashing all over again. It took almost 2 years for prices to pick up again.
Oh, I see.
So it means your cocoa rose contract, everything in the industry shuts down.
So did you pay farmers in 21?
You are still paying farmers.
Oh, I see.
Because the farmer has gone to buy cocoa. You know,
where were you keeping the cocoa?
In warehouses.
Across the country?
Across the country. And you need to fumigate. There's a company in cocoa called QCC, the Quality Control Company. They make sure they fumigate these cocoa, check for quality, make sure residue analysis is done so that the cocoa that is kept in the warehouses are safe and are not destroyed. And Kookoo Board was doing all these things, bearing all the costs for the farmer during this period. So fast forward, from 2023, the price starts to pick up gradually. Then Kookoo Board starts to pay some of its debts. Then Kookoo Board realizes that after COVID, even when you go for syndication, interest rates have gone all the way up to about 10%. Mm-hmm. And after you've gone for the syndication, they will not release the money from 2021, 2022,
so as a result of this, the MPP government left a debt of 30 billion.
32 billion cedis.
A debt?
Yes.
But how are they going to pay that?
Over time with cocoa process. You know Buidam.
Uh-huh.
Do you know Buidam debt is all part of this?
It's part of cocoa debt?
Yes.
Now, what debt did you inherit in 2017 to leave 32 billion?
I've not put all together because even if you put the 2017 cocoa rules, which was 5 billion cedis, translating to $1.3 billion, even if you put all together, it will reduce that 32 billion.
So if you were chief executive working in 2025, how are you going to solve the 30 billion?
From cocoa revenue.
Where is the revenue?
And you know, these debts, a lot of them are debts that have been structured for a longer period. For instance, the cocoa rules, they were rationalized. Some of the rules were to be terminated because the contractors couldn't even go to sites. Mm-hmm. So if you look at the rationalized rules, the actual rules that were going to be done were about 6 billion. But conveniently, what they do is they put everything together.
Okay. So let me come back and ask you another question. And let's start the video from here. So what is the current crisis? How should we understand it?
The current situation is a purely trading matter. Two issues. One, government decided to pump dollar into the system so that the cedi will appreciate and dollar will come down to 10 cedis so that everybody will be happy. But when you pump dollar into the system and everybody is happy, what you do is you make the importer happy and the exporter sad. Who is the exporter? The exporter is your major crop, your major export, which is Kookoo Board, cocoa.
Why do we make Kookoo Board sad?
Because Kookoo Board will export beans and get dollar. Mm-hmm. Kookoo Board is paid in dollars. Mm-hmm. Then they bring the dollars to Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana will change it to cedis. So when they bring their revenue, which is dollar, to Bank of Ghana will now change it to 10.25.
Oh, they don't even give them their street
No, they'll give them their rates.
Uh-huh. So if Kookoo Board is expecting $6 million today,
yes,
Bank of Ghana will use 10.
10.25.
And give you, that will be what? 6 million at 10.
That will be like 620,
600.
about 62 million or something.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
wow.
So in any economy where...
Whereas if it was 14, they'll be giving you
more.
87.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that alone reduced Kookoo Board revenues. So I remember last year, Dr. Randiabi did an interview and he mentioned in it that he went to meet the finance minister, that the way the cedi was appreciating, he begs him he should stay at, it shouldn't go below 10 because it will hurt Kookoo Board. Because the price that you are giving to the farmer, even though it's in dollar, if today, last year they were giving $5,040, you will still convert it to cedis.
It will be lower this year.
And it will be lower. As a cedi is appreciated. That's one side of it.
Part of the problem.
That's one part of the problem.
Okay, what is
the other part is purely a trading issue. Kookoo board has been trading forward sales for a very long time, for time immemorial. What is forward sales? My cocoa will get ready, let's say in September, but I cannot wait for my cocoa to get ready in September before I sell. So when you go to the international trading platforms, there's something called futures. Futures is just a trading option which allows you to sell a product that is not yet ready today. So the cocoa that will be ready in September, I can sell it today. Paul, as I'm talking to you, the traders are selling 2027 cocoa today.
To who?
They are buying it. They are buying 2027 cocoa on the futures. It's a contract. So you go to the trading platforms and you choose that I want 2027 cocoa. The price will be there. Once you lock in.
How do you get it? The price, the international price at which it will sell?
The international price.
A speculated price?
Yes.
Speculated?
Yes.
Will change?
It can change, but then once you lock in the price, the futures price today, that is the price you get. That is the price you'll be paid.
Okay. And but the Kookoo board will decide how much to pay the farmers.
Yes.
At some point.
So what the Kookoo board does is that over the period, they will do a futures like from now. They would have been selling 2027 cocoa. So they would have sold, by now they would have sold 2020, they would have finished selling 2026 cocoa. And then by October, they have visibility how much they got the cocoa. They will put the average daily sales together and know how much they got the cocoa and use it to announce price in October that this is how much you give to the farmer.
Okay, so one part of the crisis is that the CD-dollar relationship has caused it. Because the allegation is that it's not a natural relationship. It is being artificially orchestrated. So naturally you have those problems. What's the second part? The
second part is that this government came, Dr. Randy Abbey started his interviews, and in his comments, he passed the comment that it doesn't make sense that anybody will sell cocoa futures, and that 2024, 2025, we were already selling the cocoa forward. And because of that, we got some low prices.
But that's hedging.
It's hedging.
That's very
you are
basic
hedging
with
your
commodities.
position. Exactly, with commodities.
In fact, it's part and parcel of commodity trading. Hedging.
And if you have like 600,000 metric tons of cocoa, you cannot wait till the time somebody wants to buy and then you sell. You have to be selling some almost every day, so that by the time the season is closing up, you have visibility on your price.
Okay, so he was concerned that cocoa had been sold on the futures platform.
So there, in trading, there are times you have a contango situation or a backwardation situation. Contango situation is when your futures price is higher than your spot price. And then backwardation is when your futures is lower than your spot price. Now, in 2024, the prices were rising every day.
Of international cocoa.
So you cannot sit down and say, I'm waiting till it gets high before I sell. What about you wait and it gets high and then it drops one day?
So you take advantage of
the upward movement and then you sell. Then you strike the average. That's what the MPP government did. Last year, instead of selling the futures, which by now they should have finished selling 2026 cocoa, and once you sell it, it's an international contract. And that is why
it will be respected.
It will be respected. They will pay the money.
So if the current price of cocoa per ton is 4,000, last year I sold mine at 5,000.
5,000.
5,000 what I get.
So the market is said that when the price is high and I sell to you and the market drops, you respect it.
It's a bet.
It's a bet. It's hedging. And if it's low and I sell to you and it goes up, you have won.
Yeah, it's a bet.
So last year they should have sold a lot of the cocoa on futures or forward.
But they didn't.
They didn't.
Why?
Because they were waiting. They thought the price would go higher. And they had indicated that spot prices are higher.
So is a hedge book gone wrong?
It's gone wrong.
Oh, that's the matter.
That's the matter.
So it takes us back to Ashanti hedge book crisis of the 80s.
Exactly. They sold some of the cocoa and left some of the cocoa.
Waiting for
higher price. And then boom, the price drops from 10,000, crashing all the way to 4,000.
And it's gone further down.
And it's gone further down to 3,006. That is the current problem. Anybody who tells you otherwise, ask them, that based on what did they increase the price in October to 3,625 because the price was 3,001.
Yes, the one
they came to meet 3,001.
And they increased it.
So based on what?
They promised an increase.
Yes. To 6,000.
Yes.
But they couldn't do the 6,000.
Then they said 3,600.
And CD2 had appreciated.
Yes.
So if CD appreciates, your 3,001, definitely you should even come down.
Because it's weightier.
It's weightier. But you still went up to 3,625.
That's the promise.
Yes.
But that's because the price was going up, was appreciating.
The price was appreciating.
So they were confident that they would be able to meet
3,600.
But they were not selling.
They were selling some little forward, but more spots, and thinking the spot will work all the time.
So if you were advising on the hedging at that time, you would have said sell everything.
Randy, Paul, if I'm a trader, and prices are rate 10,000, and then you look at the trend over the last 8 years, and the price have always been around $2,000.
And it's now $10,000.
You
sell all.
I will sell everything and even sell 2027 Kookoo.
You will go to 32.
Yes.
It still makes sense.
I will sell
because
all
the price may not be going back to 10,000 for a long time to come.
And nobody will blame you for selling at 10,000.
Even if the price comes back to 11.
Because it's still high.
Because it's very high.
And it is not likely that price will go all the way to 15,000 or so. It went up to 13,000 once.
Long time ago?
No, just last year.
Oh,
it went to, yeah, it went to 13,000.
From 10, it climbed up.
It climbed up to 13,000.
Now it's come to 4.
And it's come to 4.
So as the price was descending, if you now want to sell, you might not even find buyers.
You might not find
they
buyers.
Will piece it down.
Because every buyer knows the price is descending, so they won't come to the market to
buy.
buy.
Wait for it to hit.
That was what was happening. That is why they were now left to Kookoo unsold. So that communique they brought today that the buyers are saying Ghana's cocoa is too expensive is not tenable.
Oh, it's expensive because they want to sell it higher to make some
profit. But the buyer won't buy.
I can see 3,000 here. Why should I buy?
Why should I buy?
Oh, I see.
When you could have sold it.
I don't quite believe what you're saying. So it's all about a hedge crisis gone
wrong.
That is it.
So anybody who says that is because of debt, now they are pushing all the argument to debt by the previous government. Okay, you came to meet debt. Why did you increase price to 3,600? Any rational manager who comes to meet debts and has a goodwill to change things wouldn't increase the price again. You maintain the price. You came to meet debt. There are fertilizers stuck in warehouses, which there is a policy for subsidized fertilizer. Why do you cancel the policy and decide to give the fertilizer out for free if it is just about the debt? In any case, you came to meet debt, but your finance minister put in the budget that the revenue for 2024-2025 was 3.9 billion cedis, dollars, which is about 40 billion Ghana cedis. So why are they not talking about the 40 billion cedis revenue for 2024-2025 against the debt of 32 billion cedis?
So finance minister announced 40 billion cedis as revenue.
$3.9 billion.
Okay, you are converting it to cedis, so 40
yes.
billion.
Yeah, I'm even using 10.25.
Okay. And they are saying they inherited a 30 billion.
32 billion.
And you are saying that by the simple analysis, the revenue that Atufosin announced is higher than
which is in the budget.
It's higher than the debt that they are reporting.
Exactly. So at least the revenue can pay off some of the debt. And if you were not in government and another person was in government, definitely they will use some of the revenue to pay some of the debt and hold the sector. So the only reason we are in this situation is because you took a very bad trading option and it has affected you. In any case,
whose decision it is to prescribe the trading option that should be used this week, next week? Is it a chief executive? Is it a board? Is it a minister of finance? Is it a minister of agric?
When it comes to the trading decisions, it is the manager at Kookoo Marketing Company and the chief executive.
The two of them.
The two of them.
They made a decision that let's go now.
Let's sell more cocoa now. Let's reduce the quantity we are selling.
But they decide with the Minister of Finance, don't they?
No, for that they don't have to go to the Minister of Finance. So the chief executive gives a mandate. So the chief executive can come and say, okay, based on the way prices are coming, I'm giving you a mandate of $8,000. You cannot come below, the price is at $10,000. You cannot come below $8,000.
But when you are hedging, you also have to give the person something. So you don't
hedge mandate.
You don't hedge at the current price.
Even though the price may be $10,000,
you have to hedge at 9.
When you go, you hedge at a position, and then the buyer will come and say, 10,000, I won't buy. Okay, I want 9,000. So every day there's a negotiation between traders and buyers.
Yeah, okay.
So based on where you are where the buyer meets you, then you buy. But then the chief executive will give a mandate to the traders that don't go below this point. That is how they trade.
Without that mandate, they can't trade.
They can't trade.
What do you think happened in this instance?
The chief executive has not explained to Ghanaians. At least I was expecting that he would tell us how much cocoa they traded forward last year, how much cocoa they traded on spot last year, and what prices they were getting for spot and forward.
Because we don't know that you are diagnosing it as a hedge crisis. We didn't understand it as a hedge crisis. The government has not said it's a hedge crisis. The Minister of Finance has not said so.
No, they won't say so because they have to push blame to the previous government.
It's a hedge crisis situation. It's a commodity, so it's trading. Is hedging is an essential part.
If they keep saying that is debt, in 2024 the debt existed. How were we able to sell 2024 cocoa forward? And I've heard them saying that because of rollovers and so on, so you cannot sell forward. How were we able to sell? Because the rollovers came from the rollovers came from 2023.
Okay.
So how were we able to sell 2024 cocoa forward?
Rollover means somebody already has cocoa for you to deliver to him.
Exactly.
So if you have just the cocoa you have is limited to those that you owe them cocoa, you can't sell.
No, so the rollover was from 2023, but 2024 you were still selling cocoa because you do not have to deliver all your rollover at once.
I don't understand. You owe somebody cocoa in a rollover.
In a rollover,
you have to give him 6
because
number of
there
tons.
are different buyers that you have to deliver the cocoa to, not one buyer. So out of the total quantity you have to deliver, let's say 10,000 is going to Hershey, 50,000 is going to Barry Calibo, 20,000 is going to, let's say, Mars, and so on. So different companies. But some of these companies will demand more cocoa within the year. So when you are delivering the cocoa within the year to them, then you add some of the rollover. As at the end of January, I'm saying it on point that Dr. Randy Abbey did not meet 330,000 metric tons of rollover. Because as at January, we had delivered 167,000 tons of rollover already.
Wow.
So he came to meet 163,000 tons of rollover. Just as in 2017, we came to meet 190,000 tons of rollover. Any time he meets people, what the excuse is he uses is rollover. If there was rollover, how were we able to trade forward in 2024 for the buyers to buy our cocoa at that huge prices at the end of the year? And you know the interesting thing, it is the cocoa we traded in 2024 that sustained them in 2025. That is why 2025, nobody complained about cocoa money issues.
Oh, I see.
And their main season is the 2025-2026. Instead of trading 2025-2026 or 2026 cocoa within the year, they couldn't do it.
Wow.
And that is why people are calling for this chief executive's head.
I think that's very